Get ready to dive into the incredible journey of one of tennis' greatest legends, Novak Djokovic, who grew up amidst the chaos of war in Serbia, turned his struggles into strength, and built a career that shook the tennis world. From the dark days of bombings to claiming the ultimate Olympic gold in 2024, this is a story of resilience, focus, and determination. Stay tuned until the end to find out how Novak rose to the top. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more epic content. This intro builds anticipation while highlighting Djokovic's transformation and success. It was the middle of the night when Novak Djokovic was jolted awake by a powerful explosion caused by a bomb dropped from a plane, landing dangerously close to the apartment where he lived. The loud blast startled his mother, who jumped up and hit her head on the heater near the bed, immediately passing out. Terrified by the scene, an 11-year-old Djokovic started crying uncontrollably, calling for his father. At the time, he didn't understand why his city was being bombed. A few minutes later, his father managed to wake his mother, and the family quickly grabbed only what they could carry in their hands before rushing out the door, running to find a safe place to hide. The noise was so deafening that we couldn't hear each other. We were close, but even if you shouted, no one could hear. My dad was carrying my brothers, and my mom was running with whatever she could grab. Then I slipped and fell. When I turned around, I saw the building shaking with debris falling. The ground was trembling, and that was undoubtedly one of the most terrifying moments. As a tennis player, his country was crumbling, creating a time no one likes to remember. However, it was moments like these that forged the mindset of the greatest tennis player in the world. This is the incredible story of Novak Djokovic and how he shook the tennis world. Childhood in Serbia. Novak Djokovic was born on May 22, 1987, in Belgrade, Serbia. His mother, Dijana Djokovic, is Croatian, and his father, Srđan, is Serbian. Djokovic also has two younger brothers, Marko and George, who are also professional tennis players. Novak discovered his passion for tennis at the age of 4 when his parents gave him a ball and a racket. He loved these toys and soon enrolled in tennis lessons at the resort where his family ran a pizzeria. At the family resort, Novak met the Yugoslavian coach Jelena Jincic, a former professional tennis player. From the moment she saw him, she recognized his exceptional potential. Jincic knew that she was witnessing a golden talent. At just 5.5 years old, Novak was already fantasizing in front of the mirror about winning the Wimbledon trophy. Novak continued to train with discipline until, at the age of 11, his journey was disrupted by war. Yugoslavia began to break apart, and Serbia was blamed for the escalating violence. In 1999, the conflict reached Kosovo, leading to NATO's intervention. For 78 days, Serbia was bombed relentlessly. During this period, the Djokovic family sought refuge in the basement of Novak's grandfather's building in Belgrade. Despite the constant threat, Novak remained focused on tennis. Though unable to train for several weeks, he viewed this time of hardship as an opportunity to grow stronger. Thankfully, his family survived the bombings unharmed. Looking back, Novak realized he used those adversities as fuel to improve himself and sharpen his determination. When the conflict ended, Djokovic began competing in local and international tournaments, showcasing his skills and winning titles. He learned to channel his suffering and anger, not for revenge, but to build inner strength. Those challenges, instead of breaking him, became tools to fuel his rise to become the greatest tennis player in the world. Novak Djokovic's junior career began in 2001 when he joined the Yugoslav national team for the Junior Davis Cup for boys under 14. Although he lost a singles match, he showcased immense talent. Over time, Djokovic accumulated 40 wins and 11 losses, reaching the 24th position in the junior world rankings by 2004. That same year, he made his debut in a professional ATP tournament, competing in the ATP Tour. At the time, Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer were dominating men's tennis. Djokovic entered the scene as a 17-year-old, but was defeated by Filippo Volandri. In 2005, he qualified for the Australian Open, making his first Grand Slam appearance, where he lost to Marat Safin, the eventual champion and one of the top players in the world. Over the years, Djokovic continued to develop as a player, focusing on flexibility and mental conditioning. In 2006, he won his first ATP title at the Dutch Open, defeating Nicolas Massu in the final, marking his victorious entry into the ATP circuit. The following year, he won the Adelaide International and claimed his first Masters 1000 title in Miami, placing him among the top 10 players in the world. In 2008, Djokovic became the youngest player to reach the semifinals of all 4 Grand Slam tournaments, defeating Federer at the Australian Open. That year, he captured his first Grand Slam title, officially emerging as a major threat to Federer and Nadal. 2011 was Djokovic's breakthrough year. He won 10 tournaments, including Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Australian Open, finishing the season with an astonishing record of 70 wins and only 6 losses. Despite a back injury before the US Open final, Djokovic ended the year ranked world number 1, a position he would hold numerous times throughout his career. His 2011 season was described by Pete Sampras as one of the greatest achievements in sports and by Nadal as the highest level of tennis ever witnessed. Djokovic has since built one of the most remarkable careers in modern tennis history. He won his first Grand Slam at 20 and has since secured titles at all 4 majors. 10 times at the Australian Open, 3 times at Roland-Garros, 7 times at Wimbledon, and 4 times at the US Open, totaling 24 Grand Slam titles. He also set a new benchmark by holding the number 1 ranking for 409 weeks, surpassing Roger Federer's previous record. Novak Djokovic remains the only male tennis player to have won all 9 Masters 1000 tournaments at least twice. His unmatched versatility on different surfaces, hard courts, Djokovic is open about his struggles with impulse control. In 2022, Djokovic found himself at the center of a global controversy when he was unvaccinated and was granted an exemption to compete in the Australian Open as the country emerged from a long COVID-19 lockdown. After a public outcry, he was deported, and the incident dominated international headlines this year. He is a multifaceted figure. He can polarize opinion, but is remarkably approachable. He can be tennis's apex predator. He is hugely popular among his peers despite having earned more money than any other tennis player in history, and founded a players' association to ease the financial burden on lower-ranked professionals. Djokovic is open about his struggles to control his impulses. In 2022, Djokovic found himself at the center of a global controversy when he was unvaccinated and was granted an exemption to compete in the Australian Open as the country emerged from a long COVID-19 lockdown. After a public outcry, he was deported, and the incident dominated international headlines this year. He is a multifaceted figure. He can polarize opinion, but is remarkably approachable. He can be the apex predator of tennis. Hugely popular among his peers, although he has earned more money than any other tennis player in history, and founded a players' association to ease the financial burden on lower-ranked professionals. The others take, because I have plenty and read. Coming from a small country and humble beginnings, Djokovic understands these struggles better than most. When he returned to Serbia in September after winning the U.S. Open, 20,000 fans cheered him. He was overcome with emotion and knows his popularity could be a powerful asset for the future. But he says inspirations that is a world or environment where would thrive, but I do think that my popularity in the country and in the region can be used other things content beyond his success on the court. Djokovic and his wife Yelena have a foundation that goes far beyond typical athlete philanthropy. They have built or renovated over 50 preschools in Serbia. Their children, Stefan and Tara, play a significant role in his motivation to continue playing. Yes, it is true. Years ago, I had a dream that my daughter and son would see me win Wimbledon. However, perhaps the biggest factor still fueling Djokovic's competitive fire is the rise of a new rival, Carlos Alcaraz. The 20-year-old Spanish sensation is the only player to defeat Djokovic in a Grand Slam this year. I have seen many challengers, but this one stands out. It was a disappointing day for me, but in a way, it was also energizing to face this young challenger, Djokovic said. Absolutely, you're right, because it pissed me off so much that I felt the need to win everything on American soil, which I did. It's a great opportunity for me to reinvent myself and push my limits. Recently, Djokovic defeated Alcaraz to win the Olympic gold medal, claiming the one title that had been missing from his illustrious career. With relentless determination and unparalleled skill, Djokovic has proven throughout his career that he belongs at the top of men's tennis and, undoubtedly, at the pinnacle of sports as a whole. Now that he has claimed all possible titles and Olympic gold, the question remains, will Carlos Alcaraz ever surpass Djokovic's records? There is one thing I know for sure. I feel that I have the power to create my own destiny. I try to visualize every single thing in my life, not only believing it, but truly feeling it with every cell in my body. Moments like these, when I experience challenges, remind me that even something as destructive as war can be a source of strength. You can use it to shape yourself into the best version of you. And with that, Djokovic continues to hold the most prestigious trophies in the world. Not just any trophy, but the ultimate prize. And so, Novak Djokovic finally